Welcome to the Edge of NFT podcast with your hosts, Jeff Kelly, Ethan Janney, and Josh Krieger. We aim to bring you not only the top 1% of what's going on with NFTs today, but what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts and the business side, but also the human element of how NFTs are changing the way we interact with the things that we love. This podcast is for the futurists and dreamers, the disruptors and creators, the fans and connectors, and the makers and doers that are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next. Hey there, welcome to the Miami Crypto Experience and the Edge of NFT. I'm your host, Jeff Kelly. My other partners in crime, Ethan Janney and Josh Krieger, are interviewing some other folks right now. We are part of the podcast that brings you the top 1% of NFTs today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts and the business side and also the human element of how NFTs are changing the way we interact with the things we love. Our podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next. Today's discussion features Ada Jonuse, a startup founder and women's empowerment agent. Ada is co-founder and CEO of the blockchain company Lympo, a gamified sports NFT ecosystem, including NFTs with IP rights of world-famous athletes and clubs. Lympo was recently acquired by Animoca Brands. And a little bit about Ada. She, after leaving European politics, she worked in high-tech startups in the US and later became an entrepreneur and startup advisor herself. She is co-founder of Women At, a network for women professionals. Her aspiration is to work with great people on meaningful projects, and her inspiration comes from many sources, including meditation, science, and art. Ada, great to see you again.
Hi, Jeff. Yeah, I'm happy to be here and good to see you again. Yeah.
Yeah, we spent a little time talking on the podcast a couple of months ago. So many exciting things happening over at Lympo. But, for our viewers who aren't yet familiar with the story of Lympo, could you share with us how the idea came about and how the company formed?
Yeah, totally. So this new chapter of our company, Lympo, L-Y-M-P-O, it's a strange name. A lot of people are asking about it, but maybe that's why it's easier to remember that. So our company started this new chapter early this year, and there we started working in the field of sports NFTs. And we sign athletes from all over the world and then produce NFTs, and they're available to our users on the Lympo NFT minting platform. And there you have to have our token, LMT, stake it, receive credits, and then have access to those NFTs. Just today, we have announced we're going to drop 10 athletes over the upcoming days. Today, I think there's a golfer and a rugby player, and you're going to see people from athletes from all over the world and also from different disciplines. And what we believe in is that NFT is not only a collectible. So we work a lot to make sure that our NFTs are beautiful, appealing, they have the rarity levels, there are legendary NFTs, rare, epic, common, uncommon. But at the same time, for us, the question is, okay, our user gets the NFT, what's next? It's nice to have it in the collection, but is that enough? We think no, we think it's not enough. And that's why we're creating products around that in our ecosystem and also working with other projects of Animoca Brands where those NFTs can be utilized. So we're currently creating 3 play-to-earn games. I cannot yet say what they're going to be about, but we work with great development studios also in different countries with different approaches where our users will be able to use NFTs and earn tokens, right? The other product that we're going to release before the end of the year is NFT staking. So our users will be able to stake NFTs and earn our tokens or the tokens of our partners or a combination of both. And like this, we're developing more and more ways for users to engage and to actually do something with their NFT. So they have to be valuable assets. And what we also did, we did some cooperation with other Animoca Brands companies. So you were able to mint athlete branded NFTs that you, for example, you athlete branded car that you use in a racing game. And we are working on a partnership with Sandbox right now with the metaverse. So there's going to be some NFTs that you'll be able to use there. And like this, we're just expanding this ecosystem and making sure that an NFT is something valuable and this value is real.
Man, you all are doing so many things on so many fronts, really bringing the best of what we've seen in the world of NFTs together under one roof. And of course, being part of Animoca Brands, which I want to dive into a little bit later on, is such a gift. I think every experience I've had with Animoca Brands, as well as the companies that are part of it, is just congruent when it comes to core values in this overall collaborative environment that we exist in. There's one element I wanted to dive into about what you mentioned, and that is kind of part of your mission, which is to go beyond folks that are just in the NFT space or even just in the crypto space, and bring in a broader audience of folks that are outside of this realm currently, but maybe have shown some interest, but don't really know how to get involved with it. So how's that going so far? And have you run into any challenges kind of getting people over from, you know, the mainstream into the world of crypto and NFTs?
Yeah. So for example, one of the things that we're also doing, we're going to be releasing star tokens, the tokens of every individual athlete that we work with, and we're ready to do that with us. So let's imagine you as a fan hold a token of, I don't know, you're a famous basketball star, whoever that is, and you're going to be, through that token, interacting with that star, voting on various decisions related to this person, maybe get a birthday greeting on their social media, maybe get their memorabilia, and so on and so forth. So for this, of course, we want, you know, the fans to come in, not only crypto folks, but the casual fan. And how do we do that? So from my experience, Lympo is alive for 4 years, and we were working on a different project before that was very much focused on just bringing a mass audience to our product. And what we learned there, that it's absolutely not worth it to try to educate kind of a casual user how to use everything. It's quite complex. Even like creating a MetaMask is a big challenge for a lot of people. I've just been on a panel with the CEO of Super Fever, and they said they see that 60% of users stop the buying process of the NFT when the card kind of install MetaMask appears.
Yep.
So what do we do with that? We look rather at products like NBA Top Shot that enable people to come and you know, buy with a credit card, and then, you know, have custodians that store their private keys. And I believe that it's all about the product. I also believe in decentralization, but like when we started working on this 4 years ago, the tools were not available for this. And right now there's a big change, and the ecosystem keeps on developing. So I think in the end, what we're going to use is just like products like, you know, a phone. We don't actually care how the phone is built. We want that it works and that it gives us a good experience. So that's our goal for these products, where we want the non-crypto folks to join. We are creating experiences, and this is going to be something we will focus more on next year, and release products in this space next year, so that everyone can come and easily buy the tokens, interact with the sports stars they love, because this is, you know, this is what this is about. It's allowing everyone to get the access to the athletes they love and to benefit from that.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, on one side, again, it's bringing more people into the space. It is astounding when you think of how few people actually hold wallets at this point, or actually involved in the world of NFTs and hold them relative to the overall population, or even the number of people that know about it but haven't dipped their toes in. So, you know, one question is on that one side, I totally get it, bring in more people. But on the other side, there are these early adopters, these fans that are supporting Lympo and everything you're doing. how do you reward the early adopters
Mhm.
for being in the boat so early, and then also, hodling for a long time?
Yeah, so I think, they got the access to the product first. And like it is with new products, normally if you come in early, everything is accessible, cheap, easy to get, and then the value grows with time. So I think those who have been with Limpa from the beginning had the chance to get NFTs for their credits only. Now we have a dynamic pricing mechanism where if anyone wants to buy it for the LMT token or for Matic, this is what we have just implemented, that they can actually, or for Ethereum, they can buy it for these cryptocurrencies, or just wait a bit. And if no one buys it, then they get it for credits. So things like that really kind of incentivize the usage of the platform from early on. And I'm sure that those who have been around have used these opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a huge fan of Rose Namajunas. I think a fellow Lithuanian background, just held on to her MMA
She
UFC
just won
championship.
a title. Just won
I
a title.
know.
Yeah, it was a great fight. Yeah,
It
we're very
was
happy for her.
a great fight and an amazing NFT that you guys dropped. I did not
Mhm.
score one of those. I wasn't able to do that, but one example of an amazing person, at least I think, who is part of your roster. So, look, historically, collecting sports cards was for kind of enjoyment of the card, and maybe the ROI of owning a sports card would go up based on the performance of the athlete. But there wasn't much opportunity to change really anything about a
Mhm.
cardboard piece of a trading card. How does taking that rough concept and applying it in a digital realm change things? What are the possibilities?
Yeah, so I think we're looking at this whole GameFi space, the financial products that are built around games, right? We know that tons of people are earning their monthly income from playing Axie Infinity, right? In Philippines and maybe other countries. So these play to earn concepts that enable gamers, enable people who actually increase the value of the product, become part of that and profit from that, and then also have the in-game assets that are transferable, that you can trade, that are interoperable. Maybe you can use them in other games. This is for me the big promise of this space and of NFTs in general. I think that this is one of the great applications of this new technology, and I hope we're going to see it in more and more context in the future. So basically, there is a big difference from just collecting the cards, the cardboard cards, to what is possible right now, because this is something that you own. You can prove the ownership, you can sell, you can use in the game, you can stake, you can earn. So like there's a whole bunch of applications around that, and this has changed so much from when I was a kid. I was like buying these stickers and putting in an album, related
Yeah.
to I don't know, football world championship and something like that. And that was exciting, but it's not as exciting as the opportunities that we have now.
Yeah, so much fun too, right? Just keeping it fun, I feel like, is such a central piece of everything that's happening in NFTs right now. I mean, there's so many game-changing things that maybe aren't as sexy or fun, having your driver's license as an NFT or car registration or mortgage or something like that. But keeping it fun, I feel like, is attracting the masses. And one of the other things about it, I think, is empowerment, right? And being able to empower creators, or in this specific case, like athletes within the sports realm, to have a more authentic relationship with their fans, and maybe even in some cases to be able to offer them an NFT and potentially create different perks of their own that they want to
Yeah.
bring forward. And I'm curious, do you have anything in your roadmap that would allow the athletes in your roster or the other folks in your roster to do exactly that, to create their own perks as part of their NFT?
Mm-hmm. So, what we want to do, or the kind of long-term vision of this, is to become a more and more decentralized product. And the first things that we're going to do actually soon is launch NFT design competition for our community or for everyone who is interested. And that person is gonna get the lifetime royalties on that NFT. So it's a real, it's a real empowerment for that designer. At the same time, we involve our community, so they get to vote, they get to decide what they want to do, and this is gonna have some small DAO elements, and then we're gonna build out from there. And from the athlete's perspective, they get to interact with whoever is creating the design. They can decide whether they want to maybe thank that person on their social media. So it's a whole different relationship between the athlete and the person who is creating the NFT than if we just take the designers that we normally work with, because these people created that, they believe in the future of that, they want to promote that. So things like that. And then in relation to the perks, with every contract, we work with athletes separately, and we ask, what could you provide? What do you want to provide? What's important for you? How do you work with your fans? And then there are these, like Rose Namajunas is one of the athletes who's very engaged and very excited and believes in this technology, is active. And then she proposed that she has fighting gloves from one fight that she won, that she is able to sign and then give to the owner of the NFT this extra perk, this memorabilia from her, and things like that are, of course, just increase the value of NFTs.
Gosh, that's so much fun. Yeah, and I think for me, it's always connecting in my mind with the athletes who who inspire me the most. Rose is one of them, and you can really feel the opportunity there when you think about the things or the people that you're most passionate about, that maybe have aligned beliefs with you and are doing fun things that you're excited about. And so it definitely resonates with me. I'm wondering, you talk to so many people across the spectrum of sports. Is there any one particular category where you feel like you're getting particular traction? Esports, I'm curious about, in particular, if you're seeing some uptake and interest there. It feels like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're increasing the number of esports teams, players we're working with, so that we open a separate esports pool. And as you said, it's the audience is the same. So the audience, the fans of an MMA fighter are not necessarily the audience that knows how to use crypto. Maybe part of that is, it depends. But then, as you said, there's a big match between the audience of the fans of esports players and people who are in crypto. It's like normally, they have the same values, they find it exciting, they like the technology. So that's what we're building on right now. There's a lot of competition, right? Everyone wants to release NFTs. Yeah. There are different people approaching different athletes. So we feel that we're not alone in this space. Obviously, at the same time, from the athlete's perspective, there's so much to talk about, so much to clarify. How do things work? If they're getting royalties in crypto, why does that change value? Or how to predict actually they're used to the contracts. I sign this and then I get an X amount of dollars to my account. Now things look trickier, right? Yeah. What is the value of an NFT? What do lifetime royalties mean? And as you said, this is a completely different empowerment of the athlete, because that piece of art is gonna continue to exist for a long time, and every time it's resold, they get royalties on that. And so I feel that at the same time, there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of education, and like everyone has heard about NFTs and that they sell for a lot of money, but how does that actually work, and what is actually important? There we have to have longer conversations around that. But generally, I strongly believe that we just move as a society. In the bigger context, we just move with more and more user interaction with the products, and hopefully with decentralization ownership as well. So I believe that in the future, some clubs or all clubs will be run by fans. They will make the most important decisions. So I believe for the athletes as well, for the brands, even the companies that list their shares, that list on exchanges that do IPOs, they want to interact with the shareholders, because it's not only about the product, it's also about the brand, the excitement that comes to that. So I think we're tapping into this future potential, and that all products, or most of the products, or most important products, will look like that in the future, where you're going to have a big engagement of the owners, users, shareholders, fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the management and the agents that are involved as well, they represent so many athletes. The quicker they get up to speed on NFTs and understand how to convey what they are in a simple, effective way for their clients who are less technical. In some cases, I think they're very, very technical clients that are very deep into this already. But in other cases, it's not. It's just not there. So it feels like creating easy buttons, for them and everybody to understand it and then to leverage it is the way to go. And I know you guys are very deep down the roadmap on that front. That's amazing. I alluded to it a little bit earlier, and you mentioned it as well. And that is being part of the Animoca Brands family. It's an amazing company, again, with this core crypto ethos, kind of rooted in its gaming history. That's just tattooed in their DNA. It oozes from everybody you talk to over there. Yeah, Sue, Robbie Young. It's just amazing how consistent that is. It's amazing how consistent it is, not just within the company, but also beyond with the subsidiaries of the company and the companies that they've supported with their investments. So how do you view partnership opportunities with these other companies under the Animoca Brands umbrella? How can that help elevate your platform? And is there anything that you can share with us about partnerships in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So Animoca Brands has invested or bought probably in around 200 companies over the last 5 years. So basically everyone, or like every company, not maybe 100%, but most of the companies that are now rocking the space have some kind of relationship with Animoca Brands, and that of course really helps us to reach out to those folks and to see, like, we have a very different access. But what I'm excited about is metaverse, of course. Now everything, you have to edge of meta NFTs, you have to add something to your hat. If you don't have a word meta in your name, currently it's not cool anymore.
We're working on it.
Of course, everyone is talking about the metaverse, and the future is going to be centralized, decentralized, and so much is going on in that space. And a company like Sandbox that just announced their Series B over 90 million funding round, and saw the token price soar, and it's just expanding. Is one of the leaders in the space, and for us to work with them to offer Lympo experience, to offer stuff like fan interaction there, maybe a sports bar, a way to meet the sports star, to meet the athlete you love there, and to have this memorabilia to build. We're building NFTs where you're going to be able to build your own gym and football stadium, and then developing mini games around that in the future. Of course, everything is early stage, but we see how it's expanding and what exciting things you can do there. So this metaverse partnership is definitely something that I'm very excited about.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye out for that. I know we're very excited about all things metaverse right now. 2022, I think, is going to be an inflection point for it. So when we look overall beyond beyond partnerships and some of the things we've mentioned already, what's next in the Lympo roadmap? What should we expect here over the next few months?
Yeah, so these are the things that I, of course, mentioned already. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start the NFT staking, a possibility for you to stake your NFT. Of course, the rarer the NFT, the bigger the rewards, and just kind of showcase this utility of the NFT for our fans. And then the Lympo Star tokens,
Yeah.
the release of of the tokens of individual athletes, sports stars that we work with is going to be the next thing, and then we'll take it from there. We're very excited about releasing some games in 2022 and kind of really build this out. And at the same time, I've been in the blockchain space for 4 years now, so it's still the technology and the infrastructure and everything, like we're really doing our best and building out on this, and at the same time the whole space is innovating, and there's so much that needs to happen still to make it easy to use, available, but also we see like every month there's something new and bridging. We're really looking forward to good NFT bridges. We want to have games on various chains. We have bridged our token to the Binance Smart Chain, to Polygon now recently, because we just saw, okay, our users have difficulties to mint more common NFTs just because transaction fees are so high. So we're kind of going along with the innovations in the space, and whenever we see something cool happening, we're like, wow, we want to try this out. We want to try out wrapping, NFT wrapping, so you can wrap some tokens on top of your NFT and kind of have a better base for the floor price. And then there are all these exciting opportunities with NFT lending and whatnot. This is just a whole ecosystem, a whole financial sector that is building now around this asset class, and we'll see what we can do with that. So this is the excitement that I have in the space.
We are pumped about it. I'll tell you what, so many fun things. And I think, just one thing to highlight for everybody is there is real building behind the scenes that has to happen to make all these fun features come together. You mentioned it, all the infrastructure, kind of heads down work, the development behind the scenes. We just have to remember there's so many people focused on this, making it happen, all behind the scenes. So kudos to that entire team that's working so hard to create this fun environment that we're all experiencing now. Ada, before we wrap, I wanted to let folks know where they should follow you to get the latest and greatest on what you're up to, what Lympo's doing, and so on.
Sure. So our website is lympo.com. You're going to be redirected to our NFT marketplace. You can subscribe to our newsletters. Of course, we have a Telegram channel, a Discord channel. We have community support there. We do weekly roundups on Medium, so there we bring out weekly blog posts about what happened, what is going to happen, and we're on all channels: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, So just trying to reach out to as many people as possible. But I think being subscribed to our newsletter and being on a Telegram channel, hanging out with other people who are fans, who are in the space, is a really great way to. This is what I did when I started learning about crypto. I just would go to whatever chats and what is this about? How does it work? And people are very helpful and really try to help out, because we know that the more people we bring to the space, the more everyone was going to benefit from that. And personally, I'm on LinkedIn. Not so active as I wish to on Twitter, but I have a profile, just my name and surname. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I do Ask Me Anything sessions from time to time, and just interact with the community this way. So many ways to reach out to us and to follow what's happening.
Well, we really appreciate it. We appreciate your time, Ada. It's been amazing. Go check out Lympo. such a great, fun set of products and part of an amazing family at Animoca Brands. So I guess this is a wrap, for the talk. And if you'd like to check out this discussion later on, you can also head over to iTunes or Spotify and subscribe to the Edge of NFT podcast. Follow us over at Edge of NFT on Twitter too for other killer discussions, details on what's going to end up being an unforgettable event later on in February 2022 called NFT LA. We have a Living Tree NFT drop coming as well. You can get the scoop on that. And that's coming out in just a few weeks. So look, on behalf of the Miami Crypto Experience and of course, Edge of NFT, thanks so much for sharing this time with us today.
Yeah, thank you. And have a great rest of the conference. I saw that you're on quite a few agenda points and really rocking this with the team. So good luck to everyone. And thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, let's keep in touch and let's get engaged in this exciting world. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye-bye.